Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us for this Star City Stories. Very excited to have this conversation with you. We are second week into October, but there is a message we want to get out to folks. 365. October is Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month, but this is something that we should be rallying for every day of the year. Talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things that as a community we're not really talking about. It's kept, inside houses. It's secret. It's not shared. It's not discussed. And it's something that, depending on the survey we're looking at, is affecting 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 women and 1 in 9 men. This is really something that affects everyone in our community because everybody does know someone that has at some point experienced domestic violence.
What do you want? Where are we as far as making more inroads around this? Are we giving enough attention to this? Could we be doing a better job? And what do the numbers seem to indicate?
So the numbers seem to be holding steady. Well, we did have 2 homicides in Aroostook County last year. That's, very unfortunate. Um, as far as community outreach, like the name is out there. I'm coming across more people who know who to contact when someone is experiencing something. We're reaching a lot of the folks that may never experience domestic violence, and that's great news. But as I said a minute ago, those are the individuals that they know someone that has used our services, could have used our services. They have a loved one. They don't know how to support them. We can always do better, and talking about it's certainly a great start.
Are we putting even more resources toward that effort so that we can prevent this and save more lives? When it comes to doing this grassroots, boots on the ground kind of work that
Mhm.
you're doing, resources are important, available. They can save lives. Are we allocating enough, or do we need more?
We certainly need more. So, from a volunteer standpoint to operate our 24/7 helpline that we have, we need 40 volunteers to
Mm,
staff that line, and we currently have 8.
wow.
The need is great. The need is there. Um, we certainly need volunteers for that. The Presque Isle area and other areas in Aroostook County are very generous as far as donations go on that end. We had the pageant that was just in Presque Isle raise over $15,000 worth of donations.
Did it really?
Yes,
That's amazing.
that's incredible.
Yes.
$15,000 worth of donations.
And where will that go?
So donations, household donations that come in, clothing donations that come in, um, they go to a variety of different places. They go to the folks that need them the most. In addition to going to folks that are living at our 3 shelters, they're available at our outreach offices too. So we now have space set up in our outreach offices where people can grab, oh, I don't know, a shirt, a coat, a little bit of food, some household items. We have those items available for those that need it.
One of the things we talked about, which is reality, is we talked about, for instance, like a housing shortage. How does that affect the work that you do? Because if people are seeing, or people who are in need are saying, well, I can't even, if I were to take the step to leave, where am I going to go? They don't even have, there isn't even a place where I could have my own apartment or home. Maybe I should just stay put, right or wrong,
Um,
as
that
far as those
could
conversations.
those are definitely conversations that are had that could happen. The housing crisis affects all of us. We'll work with folks, and perhaps the average length of stay at our shelters is longer now because it takes that much time to get a housing voucher or available apartment. It's certainly impacting them.
One positive, well, actually, there are many positive things that you and your agency do. You're going into the schools, you're trying to tap and connect with that next generation. Talk about that work.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're talking to the next generation, and it could be a conversation that's as simple as talking to a fourth grader and asking them, why do you think adults are mean to each other? Why do you think other students do things that are like bullying to each other? And we're talking about empathy, we're talking about personal responsibility, we're talking about doing the next right thing. What's a positive note, a really big positive note in the schools is that young students can recognize patterns of abuse. They can see this behavior and see that it's not okay, and they can recognize it. And as I'm seeing older students, talking middle school and up, they're starting to recognize, what does emotional abuse mean? What does verbal abuse mean? younger students are talking about things like gaslighting that we haven't heard, or hearing adults talk about that, but students are talking about it as well. We can also look at some of the impact that social media and certain content providers on YouTube are having. There are some positive messages that are out there, and there are some videos about doing the next right thing that show abuse. So some of the students are quick to recognize that, and a lot of work is being done in the classroom as far as social emotional learning,
Mhm.
with guidance counselors, social workers, and teachers.
Is there an age group that's too young to kind of understand this message and learn this message?
No, absolutely not. We're never too young to learn to, keep your hands to yourself, do the next right thing, and be the best version of yourself.
What's next? What are you all doing for the rest of the month, and what are you doing for the rest of the year and into next year as far as goal setting and accomplishing the set credo and mission of what your agency does?
Sure. We are going to continue full speed as far as outreach to schools and universities. We will be bringing on another advocate to work with older adults and do some outreach in that area as well. The month looks, October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, looks like a very big month for us on social media. We'll be doing our event on the 26th of October at Lakeview Restaurants. That's going to be a masquerade event. Massive success last year. Looking forward to it again this year. We have a luncheon on the 17th in Holton that is free to anybody in the area. Other providers are there as well. Um, we're looking to get out there. We're looking to make some noise. Everybody
Now,
knows someone.
you said that you were in need of bodies. If there's someone who's watching this and they feel like, you know what, I want to make a difference, I want to give back. How can they get in touch with you all? And is there a training to be a volunteer to do this kind of work?
Yeah, absolutely. So for anybody that wants to maybe help us out at an event, there's not training that goes along with that. But if somebody does want to take phone calls and be a volunteer on the helpline, and we're not talking about constant phone calls all night, we're talking about maybe a call or two. There is a 40-hour training component that goes along with that. We can be reached through our info page on our website. We can be reached through Instagram or Facebook, through Messenger. And you can call our 24-hour helpline as well. And that number is 1-800-439-2323.
All right, Stephen, as usual, always great to connect with you, my friend. And thank you and your staff and all volunteers for everything that you do for the community 365 from every age group. We appreciate you, my friend.
And we appreciate your support. Thank you.